Hello, welcome to another episode of Cult Movie Club. I've not done a video for a while during the summer holidays, but now everything's getting back to normal. I thought I'd do a pick-up video as I've got quite a lot of titles here over the last couple of months. Some I've got just off general shopping about, some while I was recently away, and then I've just had a birthday just gone, so I got some titles from that as well, so I thought I'd go through them. There's quite a lot to go through, but I'm going to do it as quick as possible. So I'm going to start with some Arrow Video stuff, going into some like other label bits. There's a pile from charity shops here. Again, pay £1 or £1.50 for some of them. Going on to like odd bits and bats from CEX, and then some stuff that I got for my birthday at the end. So starting with Arrow Video with this edition of Dementor, which is a pretty good film actually. But the better film on here is Jugface, which comes with also. So there's a different cover there, if you can see that. That's quite cool. Yeah, I enjoyed both of these, but like I said, Jugface was the better film. If you're in two minds of getting this, it's still available and it is kind of in the Arrow sales. It's worth getting for Jugface if you're not sure, which is a pretty good horror film. Bit on the weird side. Talking about weird, it's not really weird, but it is Weird Science. John Hughes film, 1980s. It's a classic kind of 80s movie. I picked this up quite cheap. That's just a standard edition. This, however, is a special edition of Dario Argento's Deep Red, which I saw really cheap, so I picked this up. This is a title that I had previously in the window box edition, but I had to sell to at one point because I was a bit skint. But this is really nice. This comes with a full booklet, and then there's a free disc. It's 2 discs, an export version, and you also get the soundtrack. I've not seen Deep Red all the way through. I've started it once and never finished it, so this is definitely on my to-do list. I like most of Argento's stuff, so looking forward to delving into that. This is one I have seen, The Abominable Dr. Phibes, Vincent Price classic, this one. I've watched this a couple of times since picking it up because I really enjoyed it. I'd never seen it before until I picked this up. Didn't regret that at all. That's the old video stuff there. So next on to 101 Films. This is a title I've been looking at for a while because I'd seen YouTube clips from bits of it, so I decided to pick it up. It's Amazon Women on the Moon, which is kind of like an anthology of different like comedy sketches and just weird stuff. It's pretty enjoyable. It's not actually that long, so it doesn't like get boring at any point, so that's not bad. That's a special edition as well. And another special edition that I picked up is the last broadcast from the Black Label range, 101 Black Label range. This film is like a precursor to the Blair Witch Project, so it was before that, and it's like found footage. It's a different cover on there. It's found footage about this group that goes missing, so it's kind of similar but predates it. It's not bad, it was alright. I'm not sure it's something I'd ever watch again, but we'll see. Moving on to Indicator range, I picked up this film, The People Next Door, just because I really liked the cover and I was intrigued by the kind of premise when I looked into it. I think it's 1970, so some bits are obviously really dated, but it's not bad. It's pretty good actually. I enjoyed it. If you're into 70s movies, you'll probably like that. Another Indicator title is Inseminoid, which is Norman J. Warren. It's only one of the films that I've got of his actually. This is basically just an Alien ripoff. It came out just after Alien, so it's very similar and very exploitive. But it was alright, it was a good time. Right, so moving on now to charity shop stuff. Like I said, most of these have got pretty cheap. Some of these are things that I've just been wanting and waiting to see cheap, so I've just picked them up. This first one's a bit odd. This is a Steven Seagal film called Kill Switch. So this is a film from 2008 when he was well deep into his DVD era. Theatrical releases were long gone. A lot of the films in this era were pretty bad, and there was like minimal effort from him, so you like stunt doubles for most of his fighting, and half the time he was dubbed by another actor as well, because he was like pumping him out that fast that he wasn't available to do the ADR. So they're not very good. This, however, I picked up because I saw a quite humorous video online to do with this film, and it made me giggle a little bit. And then I saw this then within the same week in a charity shop, and I just thought, well, that's a bit weird. And so I just picked it up because I'd obviously seen that video and thought, you know what, I'm going to give this one another go because I'd actually seen it since 2008. It's not a good film, but there is some enjoyment to be had in how poorly edited it is. And obviously the stunt double's pretty much the starring person. I think Steven Seagal probably did about 3 days work on this film, if that. So it's not a great film. It's probably one of the better ones in that era, although that is not saying much. It's basically a rip-off of Seven and Zodiac with your typical Steven Seagal throwing people through windows and coffee tables and stuff like that. He does do most of his own dialogue here, I think, but he's putting on this really strange accent that's just ludicrous, really, and coming out with these like sentences that nobody would ever say. But kind of a so bad it's good movie night movie. So that's the explanation behind that. If you stay tuned towards the end of the video, I'll include what I saw online if I can find it again. I'm sure I'll be able to find it. So swiftly moving on now. This was one that I was surprised I didn't have because I have Cloverfield. It's 10 Cloverfield Lane, so I picked that up for £1. Grimsby is a comedy, an action comedy that I also really enjoy when I see it on telly or Netflix and stuff like that. That was cheap, so I got that. Filth is a film I picked up that I'd seen before, but it'd been a while, with James McAvoy, and I wanted to get this because I'm going seeing, after this video actually, I'm going seeing Speak No Evil with James McAvoy. So I wanted a bit of a warm up with this. That's actually a pretty good film, although definitely not for everyone. Atomic Blonde is a film I wanted to rewatch because I'd seen bits and bats of scenes on YouTube. I did see it back in the day. I remember liking it, but I don't remember much of it, so I'm going to give this another go. This is also by the same director who recently did The Fall Guy, so I think that's why I'd seen bits and bats online, because I've come back around. Baby Driver is a film, again, that I thought I had, but I hadn't, and this came in a slipcase, so I picked that up. That was, again, these are all like £1. This I've never seen, and this is also a German import of a film called The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston. Don't know anything about this really, I just picked it up because it was within this pile of stuff. I'm not sure why it's a German import because this is available as a UK release, but anyway, it's got English on it, so I can watch it in English. So we'll give that a go at some point. And this one's quite controversial. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street remake from 2010. Now, I saw this at the cinema originally and didn't think a lot of it. I think I did have it on Blu-ray when it came out, but sold it when I did a clear out once. Kind of wanted to rewatch it again to see if it was as bad as I remember or if it's got better with age. And you know what? It was actually alright. It's nowhere near, let's just be clear, it's nowhere near touches any of the original films whatsoever. And the dark tone and nastiness it goes for is sometimes its own worst enemy. However, it's not the worst horror movie out there either. So if you take it on its own merit, which is really hard because it's an iconic character, however, if you do, then it's not a bad watch. So there's my little bit on the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Probably shouldn't have happened, but it could have been worse, let's put it that way. So these are bits that I've just seen in CX along with other bits. So Black Sheep I wanted to rewatch. It's a crazy horror comedy. That is pretty good, pretty funny, along the kind of lines as Peter Jackson. The Man Who Killed Hitler and then The Bigfoot with Sam Elliott, which I saw on Netflix a few years ago and enjoyed. Saw this pretty cheap, so I thought I'd pick this up because this is one you don't see around very often. I remember enjoying it. Watch it again at some point. Krampus is a film that I'd been after last Christmas. It's because I wanted to watch it with my son. However, I couldn't find it anywhere and it was dead expensive online. And then I saw this for £4 in CEX. So I was like, right, I'm going to get this. It's a bit early, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to put it away and save it. So that's what we've got that for. It is a good film. I've seen it. The Drop is a film, again, I wanted to rewatch because I've not seen it since it came out. Really good Tom Hardy movie this. With it's actually James Gandolfini's final role as well, and he's really good in it also. That is definitely worth checking out if you have not seen it. Aftermath was a Schwarzenegger film that I don't own, which there's not many. So, and this was one of his later titles. It's not an action movie, it's a drama. He's quite good in it. I thought he was quite good in it. The film it's alright, but I just kind of got that just because it's a Schwarzenegger title I didn't have. This, I saw the original to this at the start of this year, I think, which was Dead Snow, and I saw this, Dead Snow 2, in a slipcase, and I thought, you know what, I'll see what this one's like, and actually this one's better than the original, and I really like the original. Proper bloodthirsty, really good comedy horror. Next is a film that I had on my list to watch this year. I didn't get to see it at the cinema. HMV were the only ones doing a Blu-ray release of this for some reason. I'm guessing it's going to get like a deluxe release by maybe Arrow or something later on down the line. It's Challengers, the Zendaya film. This is really good. I actually really enjoyed this. You don't have to be into tennis to like it, because I'm certainly not, but I enjoyed it for what it was doing and what it was trying to do. The soundtrack is immense, and there's another reason why I wanted to watch this film. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, brilliant soundtrack. It's a pretty good film. Here's one I've not seen yet. It's Men, which film by Alex Garland, who's done one of my favourite films this year, Civil War. We'll get onto that later. This is the only one of his I've not seen yet, because I've seen Annihilation, which is great, and Ex Machina I've obviously seen. Looking forward to watching that. I've just not got around to it yet. This is a horror classic from the 80s, which I didn't have. Quite happy to have it now. It's quite a rare title. This now I think it's out of print. Night of the Creeps. Really enjoyed going back to this. Tom Atkins in this film just makes it for me. But there is some pretty good practical gore effects in there. Also, that is an absolute classic. Quite hard to find these days now. This is one I've not seen. And I saw really cheap, so I picked it up just because it's got Roger Corman's on it, so I thought it might be so bad it's kind of enjoyable, funny. Death Race 2050, which also stars Michael McDowell, which is really low budget film, but it's like a remake of the original Death Race, kind of frame by frame. It's not that much different. They've changed little bits to modernise it, but it's kind of the same film. It was alright, it wasn't bad. However, the better film is obviously Death Race 2000, which I got out the Signal 1 sale for £5. One of Stallone's first roles. That is an absolute classic 70s B movie. A lot better than the one I just mentioned. Go with the original if you're not sure. So on to the last bits now. I've got 2 second sight titles here. One I got for my birthday, which I'll put on that pile. So this one I've not seen, so I picked this up quite cheap. It's Frontiers, I think that's how you say it. This is it's not as brutal as I was expecting it to be, because I've heard a lot about this film, but it's still pretty gnarly. So yeah, I enjoyed this. That's pretty good. And then I got for my birthday Asylum, which was an anthology movie. I'm proper into anthology films. This is not the best one I've seen. I think this is from 1970. There's a lot of English actors in this, pretty recognisable ones: Charlotte Rampling and Brick Ekland. Peter Cushing, obviously. It was alright, it was decent. So on to now some stuff that I got for my birthday. The first being Civil War. If not my favourite film of the year so far. And that was even more enjoyable on second watch. So proper up the top of my list for this year. Here's a film that I've been wanting to watch, but it never got a Blu-ray release for some bizarre reason. It got a DVD release, but I wanted to wait to get hold of a Blu-ray because obviously it came out in Germany. So I've got the Sympathy for the Devil, Nicolas Cage and Joel Kinnaman film, which I'm looking forward to watching. So we've got that. A new release. I've got a new release here of a film I've been wanting to watch this year, and that is Monkey Man with Dev Patel. Heard it's kind of like John Wick, but a lot more brutal, given that it's got an 18 certificate. Big hopes for that one, hoping that's pretty good. Last ones here now are Crimes of the Future, which is David Cronenberg film, and the Blu-ray I've had on my list for the best part of 12 months. My brother picked this up for me, so I'm looking forward to peeling this open and getting that watched. However, I'm going to have to watch this by myself because my wife will not enjoy that film. She won't enjoy this one either, so I'm going to have to do the same with this one. This is Bad Biology, Frank Henenlotter film that I got out of the Severin UK sale. Never seen this. It's Frank Henenlotter. I know what's coming. I'm looking forward to checking it out. And lastly, something that I picked up the other day with some birthday money that I had that I saw ridiculously cheap. And it is the special edition from Warner Brothers of Citizen Kane, which is apparently one of the greatest films of all time. I have not seen this film all the way through. I've seen clips and bits here and there. I've never watched it. I know that's really bad, but I'm on it now. I've got this. This is a real nice special edition. So in there we've got like postcards, poster prints and stuff like that. There's like letters to from RKO, certificates. There's all sorts of stuff in there. I'm not going into it too much. There's just too much to pull out. And then you've got like the disc in here. So there's the Blu-ray, and then we got a hardbound booklet to go with it as well. So this is a fantastic edition of a classic film, really. So I'm looking forward to finally checking this one out and seeing if I actually like it or not. But that is an amazing edition. That was stupidly cheap. I'm not going to say how cheap it was, but let's just say it was very cheap. So pounced on that because it is very nice. So that is everything that I've picked up, probably from my last pickup video was June, so we've got July, August, September. Like I said, there's a lot of charity shop stuff there. I had quite a lucky week or so in charity shops, and then I got some stuff while I was on holiday, because I always try and find somewhere that sells Blu-rays while I'm away and pick some up, like doing that. And like I said, some birthday stuff there as well, just with some general pickups along the way. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.